coming to you live from a bunch of boxes. A very bright sun. So yeah, this big box contains, so squinty, the sun is unbelievably bright. Look at this. It's the first time we've seen the sun in days. So anyways, this big box I'm carrying is full of a bunch of stuff for Panzergonia. Because if you're an early, I guess if you're a Touareg owner, the radio options really suck. And my last Touareg, all those years ago, I put one of the eBay radios in. I wasn't super happy. So let me show you what's in this good box from my friends over at Crutchfield. Ronald, shout out. Fresh out the box, we have some focals. So these bad boys are Volkswagen specific, but they're badass. They're gonna go here because this thing needs 2 door latches because it's a Volkswagen, and that's what happens. So when I unlock it, I gotta give it one of the old Fonzes to get the lock to work. So those are gonna go in at a later date. Under this thing, let me get it down here real quick. Under this is this Kenwood DMX. Hey, where's my dogs at? DMX 40S. But the important thing that they didn't make 10 years ago was this radio replacement interface. Look at us learning to ride. Amplified audio systems if equipped. Everybody knows Touaregs are complicated because they have 1,000,000 speakers and a digital amp. So it's about 6:30. I'm gonna see how quick I can get this installed before I go home. All right, well that was actually a set of radio tools that work. Now I knew it had some extra stuff in here for like an old school Bluetooth setup. I'm trying to fish this out of here. It feels like a pretty big box, but I think I got it coming. Also feels like it's really taut for some reason. Universal radio input. Stereo auto to FM radio. Okay, so as typical with our friends over at Crutchfield, they send you this very nice harness here, which, if I'm not mistaken, actually looks pre-wired for the Kenwood, which is amazing. So I don't have to screw with that too much. I have some extra wires here, and then I have this guy, which is the radio interface guy. So now I got to do some instruction reading, figure out who goes where. All right, let me tell you another great thing about 2025 and radios, even though this unit's older, is if you're working on Touareg specifically, you know, you don't have a lot of room behind the dash to shove a bunch of stuff. So get how small this thing is now. Isn't that wild? Super crazy. And I mean, the top part is basically just free space. So that's again the DMX art where my dog's at, Rough Riders. 40S, the 50S was out of stock. The 50S does wireless CarPlay, which would have been preferred, but I don't really think I'm even going to use that much CarPlay. So there's what it comes with. Little trim panel. Looks like a GPS and some 3M stuff. Microphone, which I'm not going to need to use. Some screws to mount it. And some external microphone. So we're maybe in over our head for a night project, but we're gonna still give her the old what for, the American try, I guess. So a lot of stuff going on up here. These, pretty sweet for doing this kind of stuff. So you can basically take any wire, like we're starting with the yellow because that's the power wire. Basically you take that, put it in here. We need about, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch, maybe less. I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I can get that where the camera sees it. And then, boom, pretty nifty. Pretty nifty. And then we use this little pink insulated guy. And then we come in here with these snap-on wire crimpers and give it a crimp. And this has an insulated setting so it don't kill it. So now we're going from yellow to yellow. So here is, I don't see a red. Oh, there's a red in there. Okay, so where's our yellow? There's our yellow. Also says bad on it. We're gonna cut this a little shorter maybe. I don't think I need all that. Maybe even shorter than that. And then trim that. And then in there like so. And then come in here like so. Try not to cut your own finger or the wire, etc., etc. And you crimp that pretty good. Okay. So there, we have power. Now for the next thing. I use a little cheap torch to melt the solder and the insulation. So I kind of get one of these. I have a fancy Milwaukee heat gun. But what I've learned about a lot of stuff nowadays, tool-wise, is everything's like safe, you know? Like so you can't hurt yourself by being an idiot like a lot of us are, which is cool and all, except if you want to melt some wire shrink, my Harbor Freight heat gun, which costs $10, will melt itself down if you leave it running on the ground. My fancy Milwaukee one that we just got, I mean, I don't think it could hurt a fly. I shouldn't say I don't think it can hurt a fly, but it take a long time to get hot, and then it doesn't do as fast as a job as I want it to. So then I use this little guy, and everything goes a lot faster. All right. The next job on Panzergonia. Got the radio in, got the reverse camera in. Door latches. Now when people come to my shop and wonder why door latches cost so much, it's because you have to take the whole damn door apart. But anyways, that's out. Gonna swap the latch, gonna swap the front speakers, gonna spray a little lube on all the window rails. But it's pretty dry in there. No water intrusion. See inside your door handle. Gonna lube that up some. Put her back together. But yeah, that thing's heavy too, and my back's kind of been killing me, so continue on. Alrighty, so new door latch is installed. Also, not a hack, we got rivets in. All the grommets are back where they go. Now I'm gonna work on getting that speaker out. I could have drilled it out on the floor, but I didn't really have a rig I like to hold this whole frame up. But really makes you appreciate all the overbuiltness of the Tourags, man. That's why you have all these seals, is so you can drive this thing through deep water and not get water anywhere. So next step, we're gonna change this speaker out. Kind of has that weird foam look to it. They don't sound bad, but I figured if I was going through all this struggle and I'm gonna be standing at the speaker, I'm gonna put some speakers in it. So here we go. So inside box one, which is pretty damn nice, a adapter harness, both sides of it, to run these tweeters they want you to install now. So you get new tweeters, you get rivets, importantly you get some foam pieces, your speakers right here as I drop it on the floor. Does it look a ton different? Yes, I guess it does. All right, so right away, there's a little bit of quality difference, and your eyes probably don't deceive you. This one is smaller, so I don't think that's gonna fit in my hole, or if it does, I'll have to re-drill it, but I don't know anything about speakers, so I can't tell you anything, but it does look a little beefier. Maybe the cone material. Cone's a little nicer shaped, you know, for sure. I don't know, audio files will tell me what's up, but in they go, we'll see. Welcome back, internet. So, your eyes didn't deceive you in that last video. The focal speaker is smaller. So, don't laugh at me, but I have zip tied her on there, and she's on there real good. I called Crutchfield, nice people there. Unfortunately, they've never run into this problem before, which means I'm probably the first person to ever call them and tell them these don't fit directly, because they're supposed to be bolt-in direct fit. Literally says it right here. Plug and play installation, which it is not. It even lists Touareg on here. So that kind of sucks. We're gonna put this little interjection in here. So as you'll see in the rest of the video, as I was doing the door latch and this door handle and I was taking it all apart, life was great. So I put it back together. Didn't do the other side because I was running out of time, because as you know, I don't work on stuff during customer hours, so it really leaves me after work and Saturday, Sunday. My wife's Jetta Golf wagon, we're getting all the paintwork fixed on that thing. It's 10 years old. That'll be the next video because I got some cool stuff for that car. But put it all together, drop this off at the house, take her car. She drives it 14 miles. So now, take the door panel back off, change the handle out. I'll show you how to do that because it's very common on these. And then I'm going to try to fix this puffy door panel with some interior glue. So anyways, and then once we're done with this, we'll move on to the passenger door. We'll replace that blown speaker. We'll replace that door latch because it's also sticking. And then I got to adjust the suspension that I put in an earlier video because I didn't put enough compression in the shocks. So she a little bouncy because we're riding on just the spring, but I'll show you that later. So you got your door panel off. You got to take off this tube here. It's a big air conditioning vent. Goes whoop. Okay, so you take that off, put it on the way. It's held on by one little screw right here, which you probably have to put a washer on when you're done. Then you got to take a T20 off there, a T20 off down here, unplug this, and then that will go that way with a couple little tabs, and then you can see one T20, and there's another T20 hidden under here. That's why you got to take this off, and then we should get to the door handle. Now, during this process, I also installed the little tweeter that came from Focal. This one, it's a Blaupunk. Doesn't look bad, but it is 10 years old, so I kind of want to see what the difference is between the two. It doesn't fit super great. You got to cut some stuff, but it does have a piece of foam adhesive. You got to bend these a little bit more so they hold it down. But that's in there too, so we're gonna get that off, see what we can do next. All right, so I sprayed some glue in here. Typical Volkswagen fashion, so I'm sure a lot of Touareg people have the puffy door panel. So, odd thing is, the backer is plastic. And if you learned anything from me in videos, the Germans can't make two things: plastic, foam. So this car's got the double. Beautiful leather. It's got a adhesive foam backer that's probably that thick, and that's what kind of gives it that squishiness. So if you glued it straight to the plastic, it would look funny. So, and of course the foam is still sticky in your hand, but not sticky enough to stick to the leather or the plastic. So that was kind of a waste of an exercise. The door handle's on, which was the whole point. I replaced that tweeter speaker up here. I'm going to show you, I'll put an Amazon screenshot of what I'm going to buy. I've seen it in customer cars. Basically, it's like a black leather thumbtack, and we'll put a bunch of those in and hold it up because I'm not paying somebody to redo that, but it does kind of bother me that it's floppy. So we'll fix that now on the other side. Again, the madness of pulling a door latch. So there's the entire inner door frame of the Touareg tie-in generation. It's triple sealed. That means it's got 1, 2, and 3 seals. So this is actually mud from the last time we went off-roading somehow, but it appears to be mostly drained out, which is good. And then this just gets wet from the rain, so we're going to clean that out. We're going to change that speaker, and we're going gonna change this door light. So inner panel back on, and there is the bad part of the speaker. So we'll swap this out now, put the door panel back on, and we're done messing with this crap, and we can go on to other stuff. Okay, so I've got some belly pan fender liner screws, back where they go. Still finding chunks of dirt. I took the preload out of the spring in the front, so you see how it kind of can spin freely. I may have lost maybe a 1/4 inch of ride height in the front, and then I had the shocks at 10 on compression. I went up to 18. So basically compression is going to be how much resistance it gives to the shock moving down. So if you have too little, it'll just bounce on the spring, which is kind of how I had that sensation. It was real bouncy. So we'll do the same thing on the other side. The rear is going to be a bear, but we shall see. And that's a wrap. Very happy with how the speakers came out. Very happy with the shock and spring adjustment. It rides a lot better, sounds a lot better. All in all, a win. Is this going to be it for Panzergonia? I don't know. I'd like to do some more wheeling, but you got to go further up north for some good stuff. Anyways, like and subscribe as always. Also, check out panzerperformance.com. We have some new shirts like the Panzergonia shirt that you can purchase and buy. Support the project. See you next time.